Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And as you can see, I'm in Tower of Blue Mark 30. And honestly, if you was in the stream the other night, you would have seen the difficulty I was having. This is it's just a horrible stage, a horrible tower. Blue Mark is definitely the hardest tower of them all. We all know that. We all know that, okay? As you can see, we're looking in a very good spot. So I was like, you know what? I've not been recording it, so let's just go ahead and make the video to see if it's going to succeed. The team we used is Tuck, Guilliman, Hisaro, Guhana and Loof. Because I don't have access to Quinlan currently. Loof was needed so badly for this. And you know what? He's actually performed so well throughout this. In his wave clearing capability, especially with the likes of Hisaro and then Guhana, Guilliman and Tuck. This team just worked really well together. I tried it with Natalie in place of Loof and we just couldn't. It wasn't enough. That was not enough. But I'm feeling confident, so let's go ahead and finish this now. If we can finally finish our towers. You know, the plan is to 3-star this. We don't want to get nuked. Like, he's got 2 turns, we've got speed up, he's got speed down. Guilliman is showing how strong it is, especially paired with Guhana. Speed down, two chances to get the speed down. So let's have a little look. I mean, 4 health burns, he's got to be dead, right? He's got to be dead finally. Oh, we nearly lost a star. We nearly lost a star. Oh, holy cow. Okay, right, wait, because we need to think what we have left. Because he's going to nuke now. I need to see if we've got speed up. Okay, good. We need to. He's got no speed down on. So we need to shield ready for this nuke. Because it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. But could we get enough layers on here? 3. 15%. Combat Vanguard. We're not going to get 15% off, are we? 3%. He's dead. But can we survive with Guilliman? If Serena gets a hit off on her, if Catherine gets a freaking shield, we do have heal. Oh. Alright, speed down. Not on the boss. Are you shitting me? Boss is dead. But is Serena gonna nuke our Guilliman? Health burn needs to kill here. Speed up and a little time. Okay, we're fine. Oh, it's done. It's finally. Oh, bliss. Oh. Finally finished all the towers. Yes. So satisfying, guys. So satisfying. All towers complete. Finally. Now I can collect my Catherine E5. It's complete. Oh. It feels good. It feels good. I don't have to. Now I just need to farm it. Now I just need to farm it for marks. Done. It's done. GG. Let's upgrade our Catherine just for lols. Especially after yesterday, I kind of needed a bit of good news, right? After the Lily incident, all my epics are gone. After all my epics have been fed. There we go. Catherine is complete. But the thing is, she's not like quite as important anymore in Arena because of the new meta running around. Obviously, it's very nice to have her at E5. She's very good for advanced Arena, and that extra 50 speed helps hugely. So that's done. I don't know what the hell the next plan's going to be. But all my towers are complete. Let's just have a little recap of the towers and what was used mainly for clearance. Red Mark, we found the kind of team you want to use is something similar to you can use this kind of team here where we've got Lucifer and Hoff pairing up, especially with Besmok here as well. Win with the shields, Catherine with the shields. I mean, you can also, if you've got a strong team, like, I know it's all crazy exclusives, if you have a strong team, or if you want to play it a little bit safer, you could probably go for something like a Cindo in here for the silence, and then bring them down. But the issue is you're going to still struggle with the boss's shield. So this is why, you know, it's nice to go for all-out damage. You could bring in Sigmund for that extra shield on his skill 2, depending on which heroes you really have access to. What else in here could be used? That's going to make a really big impact. Gru, actually, you know, possibly if you're struggling for health, or you're struggling for survival, and he's one of your only options, he is going to be helpful in Tower of Mark. He is going to be helpful in Tower of Mark. Obviously, Timmy at E1 is very good for shield removal. Yeah, I mean, Lucifer's probably a main help. Sigmund, Catherine, Hoff, Besmok is, you know, it's very nice. Wim, obviously, a lot of people have Wim, and, you know, people do regress Wim at the minute for Lizzie free, for campaign, etc. Or if you build Liz first, it's probably best if you have access to Lizzie free. But Wim is very good in Tower of Red Mark, so definitely make use of him there, because it's consolidation, it's his shield. If you have Recovery Horn or on him, he's casting twice in a turn, it can save you quite a bit. It can save you quite a bit of health and troubles that you may encounter. Megan is you know, she's okay, but she would need to be E3 for you to be using her here. Otherwise, you're not going to have enough damage to get the shield down on the boss. And this is pretty much a nuke team with Besmok in place. But, you know, you can shift between those two, so try that out. Blue Mark, we mainly progressed early on with a team similar to, I wasn't using Guhana, I had Poseidon in of all heroes. I had Poseidon in, Dustin, so it was something like this, and it was Natalie I was using as well. So we was freezing the enemies, we had shields and a heal from Dustin. We had Poseidon refreshing a certain hero we wanted to, usually Hisaro, to make sure we're getting those bleeds on, and it was bringing him round faster to trigger the boss's bleeds that are on him. So that was super helpful. Other heroes you could use are, you know, Maya. Gilliman's huge for it, we all know this now. Guhana is very, very good for Blue Tower. It couldn't have been done without her either. Daisy is a very good choice. Turf is very good early on, but, you know, as we progress through the stages, the bosses with the shields and all that malarkey, it's tough, but he is very, very helpful. I could have probably built him up for it, and he would have been helpful. I just didn't want to invest so much into him on my account. Not currently with what else I have access to. Maya is a very, very good healer. So if you don't have the likes of Dustin, bring Maya in. You know, potentially be getting some good results with that. Margarita is going to be okay in the early kind of stages of Blue Tower. But the thing is, it's like when we're against the stealth boss, she's great because we have that AoE capability of bringing down some ads and hurting the boss as well. But after she's used her AoE, there's just not much more to her. There's not much more to her. I would assume that Lomaz is actually pretty good in Tower of Blue. You know, if you don't have the likes of Hisaro in your team, then Lomaz could be very good as well. Sinton maybe for some protection and taunts. I've never seen anyone try Sinton in Tower because no one's really building him. So that could be an interesting one if you was to taunt away the Catherine and Serena. But that would be, you know, a bit of a weird. If you don't have Tuck, maybe Sinton could be very helpful for you. Maybe he could be very helpful for you there. Hertha, I haven't tried Hertha enough, but she is a very good bleed damage dealer. Niskama was used in, I believe, stage 26 mainly. After that, he was regressed. Although he's become a bit more useful in Arena now as well, especially the new buff teams are going, and he is helpful there. But his Horrify is pretty good as well for wave clearing, but it's the bosses that we have the issue with. Don't even look at Valentine, it is gross. Yoko, the thing is, I mean, Yoko can be helpful, but she's going to have very, very, very good gear. Very good gear. Ignore Hell 9000, we all know that. Dario would need to be E2 really to be getting a lot of use from him for Tower of Mark. But he's still very hard. You need very good gear again. What about Eric? I wouldn't use Eric either. I wouldn't use Eric either. And why is my Yoko? Why did I put another Yoko? Didn't realise that. I did not realise that. Yeah, so that's kind of it for the blue mark. Main heroes being, though, obviously Quinlan as well is a huge hero for Blue Mark Tower. Huge hero. But definitely this team here was super nice. Loof and Gideon. This team was very, very nice. It works very well. It took a lot of times in stage 30, but I would assume that this team would be very good as well in earlier stages. Purely because Loof can, Loof is an AoE health burn. But when the enemy dies, it transfers onto the next enemy as well. So that's super nice that it does that. I didn't realise that before I started using him, that was a feature of his. So in waves as well, he can be very effective. But this is the kind of best team you're going to get in Blue Tower, my opinion. You could possibly, if you had, say, Quinlan, remove potentially Hisaro. Potentially. I would keep Loof, because pairing them up together would be very nice, especially the health cap increase from Tuck. Okay, Green Mark Tower. I did do a video on this. I did a video on Red Mark as well, but it's kind of updated, right? Ben Austin is huge. Alec is huge. Alec is huge here for the defense. This is a team I used to clear stage 30, in fact. Alec, Taff, Space, Maeve, and Hisonia. I didn't have Ben Austin at the time, but if I was to bring in Ben Austin now, it would be even easier. I'll take out Taff and throw in Ben Austin here. Speed up, speed down, and slumber down on the boss as well from Maeve is huge. Nice damage as well. Defense down for whatever reason, so she can do a little bit more. Alec with the protection, shields, defense up, tenacity up. And then Ben Austin with the multi-hits makes it an easy kind of tower to clear if you have access to that. If you don't have access to that, it's going to be tricky without a Hisonia. It would be tricky. You could potentially try something like this, but it's not going to be enough. You may need to bring in Taff as well for, I'm not really sure who. You may even have to remove Ben Austin. You may even need to remove Ben Austin. Maybe I'll try this sometime. Slavel boosting the attack for Taff. Boosting the attack for Maeve. It potentially could work. I know some people use Lamb in Tower of Green. He was helpful, but then they paired him up with Hisonia. And when you're paired up with Hisonia, well, we all know how that kind of goes. Walter could be useful if he's fully built and very well geared. Potentially, if you had Walter, I would probably remove Maeve and have Walter and Taff, Slavel, Space, Alec. I'm going to have to try that team, but I don't have Walter built, so... Frick, no. Ariel, no. Claude, no. No. He may be helpful if that's what you have access to, but Islet obviously needs a rework. Shoulder, not really, he's not doing enough damage. His shield strip could be useful though, to a certain point. Epics, Kolfuma's very good. She's very good for this. Also, Kaidon, I think he's called Kaidon. He can be pretty helpful as well. We have done, what did I do? In my tier list, did I say that they was good for these? I'm going to be doing a new tier list soon, Epics and Legends. So that would be helpful for a lot of people. We have the likes of Mafka and Malassa as well, but I think it's Malassa you'd rather use over Mafka. Pretty sure it is. So that's green. Force Mark, well, we have a lot of heroes in Force Mark, don't we? We have Nidrold, Melia, Liz, Elena, Paolin now, who's huge, removing shield, and that Paolin is going to be huge for a lot of people on Force Mark. It's going to be huge. Slackdo's very good in Force Mark Tower as well. Resistance debuff, stripping buffs as well. Z is very good for Force Mark Tower. Obviously not quite as good as, say, Nidrold or Melia, but she will do the job. She will help you a lot. Okmin, again, is a very nice hero too. Solly will grant you some extra protection to your team, making him potentially useful depending on what kind of support you have, depending on what kind of support you have around your team. I believe, isn't Santa false mark? If he is, then you're laughing. Mutsu can be pretty useful if you're using a direct damage kind of team. Luna, I believe, is false mark, and she can be huge. To your team. I still haven't upgraded my Nidrod to E4. What's wrong with me? Don't use carry. Serena, well, I mean, not for the late stages. Maybe early she'll help push you through. Zaxulu, nope. Amalek, nope. What epics? Eden would be useful. Anton, I think, is useful now as well. I think Anton's useful now as well for Force Mark Tower. But definitely a team, if you have access to it, even without these exclusives, are going to push you on far. I know my content is very, very end-game, but the content that's clearing end-game will clear earlier game with less investment as well. So don't forget that. Elena is very... So this is the team, really. I mean, Zyra can be removed. Pauline, potentially for the extra support and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if we could remove Liz now and use Pauline with Elena. Getting the speed down, a buff from the shield. Maybe I'll try it sometime. I think this would definitely clear it. But yeah. So that's that for my sort of, just a little quick, just a quick off the head kind of guide or on Tower of Markham, what I think is going to help you. It is very hard. No, it's not easy. It's taken me a long time, and you've seen what I have access to on my account. So always bear that in mind as well. But try and focus one tower at a time, pushing it as far as you can. And then if you have, say, a very good hero who's good at solo carry, like Turf, for instance, for Blue Mark, pushing you on to, say, floor 20 solo, that's also very, very helpful too. Pushes you on for a lot of stars to unlock your Catherines. So that is it for that video. And I'll do a more in-depth one overall, or I'll focus on something else that can be more helpful to people towards Tower of Mark. So that's it for that video, guys. Have a great day or evening wherever you are. Take care.